Tonight's biggest tennis story is not about a Grand Slam champion. It is about a rising star from the Philippines who is quickly becoming one of the most exciting young players in the sport. Alexandra Eala is preparing for one of the biggest matches of her season, and standing across the net will be Canada's Leylah Fernandez, a player who has already proven that she can perform under pressure and compete on the biggest stages in tennis. This round of 16 showdown brings together two left-handed players with aggressive baseline games, excellent movement, and completely different levels of experience. For Eala, this is an opportunity to prove that her recent rise is not just a temporary moment. For Fernandez, it is a chance to remind everyone why she remains one of the most respected and dangerous competitors on the WTA Tour. Youth versus experience. Fearless ambition versus established success. And when the first ball is struck, the difference between them could come down to just a few crucial points. Alexandra Eala has been steadily building momentum over the past several months. With every victory, she has gained more confidence, more attention, and more belief that she belongs among the world's best players. Her game has continued to develop in several important areas. Her shot-making has become more confident, her footwork has improved, and she appears far more comfortable competing against opponents with greater experience and higher rankings. That confidence is perhaps the most important part of her rise. Young players often become extremely dangerous when they stop being intimidated by reputations. Eala has shown signs of developing that fearless mentality. She is not stepping onto the court simply hopping to survive against established opponents. She is beginning to believe that she can actually beat them. That belief changes everything. When Eala plays aggressively and takes control of rallies early, she can put enormous pressure on her opponent. Her forehand is becoming an increasingly effective weapon, and her ability to move quickly around the court allows her to transition from defense to attack in only a few shots. She is also capable of taking the ball early, stepping inside the baseline, and forcing opponents to react instead of dictate the rally. But against Leylah Fernandez, that strategy will be tested from the very beginning. Fernandez has already experienced the pressure of competing on the sport's biggest stages. She has faced elite players, played in high-pressure situations, and shown that she can remain composed even when matches become extremely difficult. One of Fernandez's greatest strengths is her court coverage. She reads the game well, anticipates where the ball is going, and uses her speed to reach shots that many players would simply give up on. But she is not only a defensive player. Fernandez has the ability to absorb pace, redirect the ball, and suddenly turn a defensive position into an attacking opportunity. When an opponent tries to hit through her, she often uses that power against them. That creates a fascinating tactical battle because both players are comfortable from the baseline, both can redirect the ball with sharp angles, and both prefer to build points rather than rely only on one huge shot. The fact that both players are left-handed adds another interesting element to the matchup. Their serves, forehands, and patterns of play may create unusual angles that can make rallies feel unpredictable. Instead of simply exchanging powerful shots, they will likely spend much of the match trying to open up the court, target weaknesses, and force the other player into uncomfortable positions. The battle for control of the baseline could become the central story of the match. Whoever manages to step inside the court first and dictate the tempo may gain the early advantage. If Eala can attack Fernandez's second serve and take control of the first few shots in each rally, she could put the Canadian under pressure. However, if Eala becomes too aggressive, the unforced errors could begin to accumulate. This is the difficult balance she will need to manage. She cannot afford to play too cautiously because Fernandez is too experienced and too consistent, but she also cannot force low-percentage shots simply because she wants to make a statement. The best version of Eala will combine aggression with patience. She will need to construct points carefully, wait for the right opportunity, and then attack with conviction when the opening appears. The serve could also play a major role. Neither player depends entirely on overwhelming power from the service line. Instead, placement, variety, and consistency are likely to be more important than speed alone. The player who lands the higher percentage of first serves may be able to control more rallies from the start. Protecting the second serve will also be critical because neither player will want to give the other easy opportunities to attack immediately. A few loose service games could completely change the direction of the match. Then comes the mental side of the contest. Tennis matches between evenly matched players are often decided during the moments when the pressure becomes greatest. Break points, long deuce games, tiebreaks, and service games at the end of a set can determine the result even when the overall quality of tennis is extremely close. This is where Fernandez may have an advantage. She has been through these situations many times before. She knows how quickly momentum can change, and she understands the importance of remaining focused after losing a difficult point or a painful game. Even when Fernandez falls behind, she rarely looks panicked. She continues to compete, waits for opportunities, and trusts her ability to stay in the match. But Eala has also shown maturity beyond her years. She has continued to improve in the way she handles important moments, and her growing confidence has changed the way she competes. She no longer looks like a player who is simply happy to be involved in big matches. She looks like a player who expects to compete. That expectation could be extremely valuable if this match becomes a three-set battle. The crowd may also have an influence. Eala has attracted passionate support from Filipino tennis fans around the world, and every important point is likely to bring a strong emotional reaction. That kind of support can give a young player extra energy during difficult stretches. It can help her recover after losing a set or maintain belief when Fernandez begins to control the tempo. At the same time, Eala will need to make sure that emotion does not turn into impatience. Against a player as experienced as Fernandez, one of the biggest challenges will be staying calm after losing a long rally or missing an aggressive shot. The match may contain several momentum swings, and Eala will need to respond intelligently every time the situation changes. One of the most important questions will be how each player reacts after losing a set or giving up a break. Tennis is often decided by the player who responds best to disappointment. A single break of serve can change the emotional balance, but it does not have to determine the final result. If Eala falls behind, she cannot panic. If Fernandez loses control of a set, she cannot allow frustration to affect her decision-making. Both players will need to stay mentally engaged from the first point until the last. For Eala, this match represents more than a chance to reach the next round. It is another measuring stick in her development. Every time she faces an opponent with the experience and reputation of Fernandez, she gains a clearer understanding of what is required to compete consistently at the highest level. These are the matches that reveal whether a promising young player is ready to become a regular threat on tour. But Eala will not be entering the court simply to gain experience. She has already shown that she believes she belongs in this environment. Her goal will be to play her own game, trust her preparation, and make Fernandez uncomfortable from the opening point. For Fernandez, the objective will be different. She will want to control the rhythm, force Eala into difficult decisions, and use her experience to manage the most important moments. She knows that young opponents can become extremely dangerous when they find early confidence, so Fernandez will likely try to prevent Eala from settling into a comfortable attacking rhythm. The first few games could therefore be very important. If Eala starts strongly, holds her serve, and finds success with her forehand, she may begin to believe that a major upset is possible. But if Fernandez absorbs her early attacks and forces her into longer rallies, the Canadian could gradually gain control. So who has the advantage? On paper, Leylah Fernandez enters the match with the edge because of her experience and proven ability to perform under pressure. She understands how to manage difficult moments, defend against powerful attacks, and stay competitive even when she is not playing her best tennis. However, tennis is not played on paper. Alex Eala has already shown that she is not intimidated by reputation. Her confidence is growing with every opportunity, and when she plays aggressively while keeping her errors under control, she has the ability to challenge experienced WTA opponents. That is what makes this match so exciting. It is not simply a contest between a young player and an experienced player. It is a battle between two competitors who believe they can control the baseline, dictate the tempo, and force the other to change their natural game. Our prediction gives Leylah Fernandez a slight advantage, especially if the match comes down to composure during the biggest points. But Alex Eala has every chance to change that prediction. If she serves efficiently, stays patient in long rallies, attacks at the right moments, and refuses to become intimidated by Fernandez's experience, she could produce one of the most important victories of her young career. Regardless of the outcome, this is another major chapter in Eala's journey. Every match against world-class competition gives her another opportunity to grow, compete, and show tennis fans exactly how high her potential may be. For the Philippines, this is a chance to watch one of their brightest tennis stars take on a proven competitor from Canada. For tennis fans everywhere, it is a matchup filled with tactical questions, contrasting experiences, long rallies, momentum swings, and pressure-filled moments. When the first ball is struck, rankings and expectations will not win points. Only execution, composure, movement, and determination will decide who advances. So what do you think? Will Alex Eala continue her remarkable rise and produce another statement victory? Or will Leylah Fernandez use her experience to control the match and move into the next round? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this match preview, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest tennis news, analysis, and updates